So I want to talk about the dating market and what it's like being a 38-year-old white man trying to date in one of the largest metros on Earth, the Phoenix Metro, a place where there's 5 million people, tons of dating apps, tons of single people, theoretically, a pretty strong economy, you know, like it shouldn't be difficult. You would think, like, you know, the influencer dudes, they're like, oh, you go out to the city, and that's where that's where you make your money, that's where you meet your wife, that whole deal. Well, I'm like a normal guy, like kind of weird, but like I work and I pay for things, and I don't do a bunch of weird shit, like I'm a normal guy. I don't have much for hobbies, but I'm paying attention. And this dating thing is like, as I'm getting older, it's like bloody goddamn difficult. And it was bloody difficult in my 20s. Like in my 20s, I couldn't even ask anybody out because I was either in relationships or with people who weren't going to say yes, or or I wasn't asking out people I really wanted to. That's kind of what was happening. But now I'm like getting this baked in thing. Like, I don't even look old, but I like, I'm not approaching, because I don't know how old she is. Like, is she 27? Is she 17? Like, I can't tell, and so it's best just to stay away, because getting stared down like you're a goddamn predator is like way worse than somebody saying no. Like, I can take a no all day, but to be like, oh dude, you're creepy, like that's the, like, that goes right into my damn heart. um Dude, I'm not meeting people. I'm not meeting people who I'm attracted to at all. Like, I see women at the grocery store, or with like one kid or something like that, or I'm not seeing anybody who I really want. And I'm like, when the hell am I going to run into somebody? And there's all this pressure to, like, oh, you need to get your masculinity in order. All my whole feed's packed with, like, these dudes, like, here, it's like, you need to go become a fucking man. You need to be in isolation, so that you can, like, figure out who you are, and so you can integrate your shadow and all this. And I'm like, man, I'm really trying to do that, but, like, how many years do you want me to pull out of being a person, like a living fucking person, and pretending like I don't have social goddamn needs, physical needs, emotional needs, to, like, become, Bruce Wayne in his fucking, uh, Asian kung fu house or something. uh, like, I go home and I try to have some alone time there and work through some of my shit, and I do a little bit of therapy, and I've got a couple hobbies, things that I actually, like, improve me. Like, I take a Spanish class, and I take a horseback riding class, and I run my business. And, like, I don't have some cheesy ass business. Like, I've got 11, including myself, I have 11 employees, and, like, we do plenty of actual real work. It's like, I'm not pathetic. I don't live in my mom's basement. I'm not broke. I have vehicles. Like, I take good care of my health. I'm not a total sap or a pushover. I'm also not a total asshole. Like, I'm kind of in the middle. Kind of in the middle. And I'm like, where's my fucking wife? Like, where is a woman who wants to be taken care of and who is willing to do her part in the arrangement? And I'm like, I'm driving around, just getting older, and just getting, just, like, angry, like fucking angry. Like, how am I working this hard, uh, for, to make money, that it's like the women don't even care about the money. They're like, they want the 6 foot, and they want the abs, and they want the money. And I'm like, okay, well, best two of three, here's your two of three. But it doesn't matter. It's like, how do you make her feel? And so I'm like, okay, how do I make her feel? Like, let's work on being, you know, charismatic and being like kind of a jackass but kind of sweet, you know, because apparently being myself didn't work. You know, the advice for like 10 years was, well, you need to go be yourself, and that's what she's gonna like. You know, she wants you to be genuine. But that's not true either, you know, supposedly. Like, that's not true. Being myself, does that work? Being an asshole seems to have a bit of a positive result. Being a sap also works. You can be a fucking sap, but she's gonna run all over you. What kind of lady do you want? You know? I want a sweet lady who I don't have to work very hard to keep her from running over me. And I meet them occasionally, and they're in relationships, and I don't know where the lady for me is. And I don't know how hard, like, how many fucking shows, hikes, climbs, groups am I going to have to join to, like, run across somebody who is not, you know, way bigger than me, way dumber than me. Like, it's, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Like, if I was living in my mom's basement and I was making, you know, 18,000 a year, and, you know, I couldn't, like, clean up after myself, and I was, like, you know, kind of mean or something, like, that'd be one thing. I'd be like, oh, yeah, no, it totally makes sense. But some of those guys get fucking girlfriends who want to have babies with them. You know, like, you hear these stories about these, or you see guys who are like, man, I gotta take care of my kids. I'm like, dude, duh. Like, why don't you take care of your kids? Like, you're the luckiest dude ever that you got to have kids. It sucks that that relationship didn't work out, but you got to have your kids. I didn't get to have my kids. Like, when am I gonna get to have my kids? When are we gonna see the results of my distinct parenting style? I wonder about that.